A very good morning to one and all. Today I would like to explain about the losses in a DC generator and its efficiencies. So, till now we discussed about what are the different major parts of a DC generator, constructional details, and then what are the functions of each and every part, and what are the materials used for the different parts of the DC generator, and the working principle and derivation of the EMF equation in the previous classes. Now, we would like to know the importance of losses that may exist in different parts of the DC generator. And they are classified into three mainly. One is copper losses, magnetic losses, mechanical losses. And here, in the copper losses, the basic thing we need to understand, wherever there is a copper conductor or a conductor made with a conducting material will have definitely losses in it as and when the current flows through this one. So these losses are given by IA square RA, I square RA losses. These are also termed as I square R losses. Now, in the DC generator, we have two main parts. Those are armature winding and field winding. So, there is a possibility of getting copper losses in the armature winding and as well as field winding. So, the copper losses are of two types, armature copper losses and field copper losses. Coming to the magnetic losses, this DC generator, the armature is rotating. So, probably there will be armature of the DC generator is made with a magnetic material, nothing but iron. So, these iron material will have hysteresis losses depending on its hysteresis loop, which is the characteristics of the material. And one more loss, which is called as eddy current loss. This eddy current loss is probably because of the EMF induced in the iron material causes a current to flow in the material, and this current accounts for eddy current loss, because eddy means very small currents. Eddy means very small in nature. So these currents will be very small. So these are called eddy current. And the loss concerned with that is called eddy current loss. Here, the hysteresis loss and eddy current losses together are called as magnetic losses because of the magnetic nature of the material. Next, coming to the third one, which is a mechanical losses. The mechanical losses, as the shaft of the DC generator is rotating, which causes the friction and windage losses, and at the bearings and as well as the commutator. And all these together will account for 10 to 20% of the full load losses. And still we can know how these losses will be there categorized. Uh, as I mentioned earlier, due to the rotation of the iron core of the armature in the magnetic flux of the field poles, there are some losses taking place continuously in the core and are known as iron losses, or also termed as core losses. They consisting of hysteresis and eddy current losses. Here I would like to tell about the hysteresis losses given by the formulae. WH is equal to eta B maximum power 1.6 FV watts. So here V is the volume of the core measured in meter cube, and eta is the Steinmetz hysteresis coefficient. This coefficient is different for different magnetic materials, where B maximum is the flux density. So in order to get a clarity, I am showing here how the losses will be categorized. So the total losses is categorized into three: copper losses, iron losses and mechanical losses. Again, these copper losses are of three types, like armature copper losses, shunt copper losses and series copper losses. Here, I would like to tell you one point. Depending upon the type of the generator you considered, suppose if we considered a shunt generator, that will have armature as well as shunt windings. So These shunt winding accounts for shunt copper losses. Obviously, armature is for armature copper losses. And if you are considering a series generator, it will have armature as well as series field winding. So it accounts for armature copper losses and series field copper losses. Rather than if we are considering a compound generator, this will have all shunt copper losses, series copper losses, as well as the armature copper losses. So depending upon the type of the generator what you have chosen, these losses will account. And next, coming to the iron losses, as I mentioned earlier, it will have two. One is hysteresis and as well as eddy current losses. These purely hysteresis losses will, depending upon the type of the material what you have chosen, magnetic material, and based on its hysteresis loop. And this is a eddy current loss. Eddy current losses, because of the very small currents that will flow in the core material of the armature, accounts for eddy current losses. These together are called as iron losses. Coming to the mechanical losses, friction and windage losses will be there. Now, I would like to explain the concept of eddy current losses with the help of these two diagrams. Now, I consider the two cases, case 1 and case 2 here. In the case 1, I consider the armature core as a completely a solid one. In the second diagram, I have considered the laminated core for the armature in this second case, in the case 2. Now, if you observe here in the slab of the first case, the possibility of having currents more in this one magnitude wise. So, these currents will flow within the core material. So, the eddy current losses will be more and more. But these are unnecessary for us and we need to reduce them. Because of that one, I'm making here the laminations of the entire core, and then what happens, the cross sectional area to flow these currents will be reduced, and almost the current magnitudes are also still reduced here compared with the case 1. So as the eddy currents are reduced, the losses will also be reduced here. So this will give you the better explanation for the eddy current losses. Now we are going to know about the formula used for this one. When the armature core rotates, it also cuts the magnetic flux, hence an EMF is induced in the body of the core according to the laws of electromagnetic induction. I explained just now. And this EMF, even though it is very less, because it is happened in the magnetic material. So what happens, large currents will be induced in the body of the core, and due to this very small resistance. This is known as eddy current. And the formula given by this WE equal to K B maximum square F square T square B square watts here, and where B maximum is the flux density of the core and K is a constant, F is the frequency, T is the thickness of the sheet, and B is the volume. So here the power loss due to the flow of this current is given by WE, where E stands here eddy current loss. Eddy current loss. And now there is one more term which is called as stray losses. This is assigned to the combination of magnetic and mechanical losses together. So another name for combination of magnetic and mechanical losses. Let me tell you one point. What is the magnetic losses? We have hysteresis and eddy current losses come under magnetic losses. Then what is mechanical losses? Friction and windage losses will come under mechanical losses. So magnetic and mechanical losses together are collectively called as a stray losses. So we should know this term stray losses. In some of the numerical problems, they will ask you to calculate stray losses. This term will be used for a combination of magnetic and mechanical losses. Sometimes these are also called as a rotational losses. And next, I'll introduce what are the different power stages that exist in a DC generator. So, it's known to you a DC generator which converts the given mechanical input into the electrical output. In this one, how we are getting the mechanical input? The mechanical input is obtained from a prime mover, nothing but the rotation of the prime mover. It is already coupled to the shaft of the DC generator. So, the shaft is getting the mechanical input from a prime mover. And what is the output of the DC generator? It is the electrical output. So, converting the mechanical input to the electrical output, there are different stages in terms of the losses and the power generation. So I would like to explain here the various power stages in the DC generator. The first I'll start with the mechanical power input, which is given by prime mover, and it is also called as output of the driving engine, nothing but the prime mover. And after that there will be iron and friction losses, and by deducting these losses from the mechanical input we will get the electrical power developed. As we know, actually the conversion takes place in the armature, or we can say that the electrical power is developed in the armature. So this is given by EZ into IA watts. For what is EZ? EZ is the generated voltage in the armature and IA is the armature current. This is the actual power that is generated in the armature. Now, by deducting the copper losses that exist in the DC generator from the actual power developed in the armature, we will get the electrical output available at the terminals. So this can be given by voltage at the terminal voltage. V stands for terminal voltage and I is the current at the load. So this is nothing but V into I is nothing but your electrical output. So this diagram shows how mechanical input given to the DC generator is converted into the electrical output. Now for any machine, calculating its efficiency is very much required, and based on that efficiency we can know the performance of the DC generator. Coming to the generator efficiency, there are three categories of efficiencies like mechanical efficiency, electrical efficiency, and finally the commercial are also called as overall efficiency. Let me introduce the terms here. Efficiency, the symbol for efficiency is eta, and here mechanical efficiency is represented by eta suffix m, and electrical efficiency is represented by eta suffix e, and overall or commercial efficiency is represented by eta suffix c. And based on the previous power stage diagram, I would like to tell you the different terminology what we are used in this one. The first part is represented with capital A, and the middle one is represented with capital B, and the third one is represented with capital C. So based on this one, now I am going to calculate what is the mechanical efficiency, what is the electrical efficiency, and what is the overall efficiency from these power stages. Like mechanical efficiency is nothing but B by A here. What is B here? Total watts generated in the armature, and what is A here? Mechanical power supplied. Nothing but input to the generator. Like we can write down here EG into IA by output of the driving engine or prime mover. And next we'll discuss about electrical efficiency. So electrical efficiency eta is given by capital C by B. What is capital C? Watts available in the load circuit represented with the capital product of V into I. And what is the total watts generated? EZ into IA. This is the electrical efficiency. And finally coming to the overall efficiency, for a given DC generator, if it is known to you the input given to the generator in terms of watts and the output anyhow it will be known to you in terms of watts, so we can calculate the overall efficiency of the generator is capital C by A, nothing but watts available in the load circuit by mechanical power supplied to the generator. So till now I introduced what are the different stages in the DC generator and how to calculate different efficiencies of the DC generator like mechanical efficiency, electrical efficiency, and overall efficiency. Now I would like to derive the formula concerned with the maximum efficiency. So of the given generator and what is the condition for maximum efficiency. For this, I would like to start with the generator output. So what is the generator output? V into IA is the generator output. V into IA is the generator output. So once output is known to you, we can calculate the input if we know the losses. So generator input equal to output plus losses. So what is the output? V into IA is your output, and losses we are it's known to you that the major losses are two. One is copper losses and constant losses. Constant losses are represented by W suffix C, and copper losses are represented with IA square R. So here I would like to stress one point. The losses we are going to calculate. We are assuming that the shunt field current is very negligible. So I am assuming Ia is equal to I. So I am rewriting this equation. In general, this will be Vi plus Ia square Ra plus Wc. Wc stands for constant losses. And this Ia in case of a shunt generator, I plus ISH. I plus I. What is ISH? ISH is nothing but your shunt field current. So here we are assuming for the simplicity Ia is equal to I. We are neglecting the shunt field current. So I would like to write down the equation for efficiency. Efficiency is given by output by input. What is the output known to you? V into Ia is the output known to you. So Vi by input is nothing but output less losses. So output is Vi plus losses. These total losses are armature copper losses plus constant losses. So Vi by Vi plus Ia square Ra plus Wc. Wc stands for your constant losses. Now, if you want to simplify this equation, I am dividing the numerator and denominator with Vi. So then it can be simplified into 1 by 1 plus IARA by V plus WC by V into I. I'll stop at this equation. Now you take here eta is a efficiency symbol. So eta equal to this equation we obtain. Now I would like to get the condition for maximum efficiency. So to get that one, differentiate the denominator with respect to the variable and made it equal to 0. Then we will get the condition for maximum quantity in any, like we learned in the mathematics, right? So here what is the denominator? I have 1 plus, so anyhow this is a constant. So I am derivating this term completely, which is in the parenthesis, with respect to the variable. Variable is current for me. So d by di of this completed term, and it must be equal to 0. So after doing that one, we will get a condition Ra by V minus Wc by Vi square, and it must be equal to 0. By simplifying this equation, we will get I square Ra, which is equal to Wc. Then what is I square Ra stands? I square Ra stands copper losses, and WC stands for constant losses. So the from this we obtain the condition for maximum efficiency, nothing but these I square Ra nothing but variable losses, also called as copper losses, and WC is nothing but the constant losses. So variable losses is equal to constant losses is a condition for maximum efficiency of a DC generator. Still further we can calculate what is the current corresponding to maximum efficiency. Probably this will be asked in numericals. So and the load current corresponding to maximum efficiency is given by, I this is started from this equation only. So this square root will be this square will be square becomes square root on the other side. So I equal to under root WC by RA. For a given condition, if you know the constant losses and the armature resistance, we can calculate the current corresponding to maximum efficiency of the given DC generator. And this is the graph showing how it is varying with respect to the current. So as the current gradually increases, and reaches a maximum value. This is the current corresponding to maximum efficiency. And y-axis I considered efficiency, and x-axis I considered the current. So actually this point is the current corresponding to maximum efficiency. Now I would like to discuss about some problems based on the topics till now what I have discussed. Right. So this is the first problem I am going to explain. So I'll just read out this problem. A shunt generator delivers 195 amperes at a terminal potential difference of 250 volts. The armature resistance and shunt field resistance are 0.02 ohms and 50 ohms respectively. The iron and friction loss is equal to 950 watts. Find, they have given, find EMF generated and copper losses, output of the prime mover, and finally commercial, mechanical and electrical efficiencies. So in this they are asking to calculate all these four parameters. Right. Uh, Depending upon the given data, they have mentioned in the problem potential difference is 250 volts and the load current is 195 amperes and corresponding resistances they have given. So I'll start calculating the first one. What is the shunt current in the given problem? So that is voltage by the corresponding shunt resistance. So 250 by 50, which is equal to 5 amperes. Now after that, what is the total armature current? It is summation of load current and shunt field current. So armature current equal to 195 plus 5, which is equal to 200 amperes. Now armature voltage drop I am going to calculate, that is IA into RA, because they are asking to calculate generated EMF. For that we need armature voltage drop. So what is IA value? 200 amperes. The corresponding armature resistance mentioned in the problem is 0.02 ohms. So together it will give you 4 ohms. So the generated voltage is the first one in the problem they asked, that is 250 is the terminal voltage plus armature voltage drop is 4. So together it will give you 254 volts. Next bit they asked about armature copper losses. Nothing but the formula for this one is IA square RA. What is IA value? Earlier we have calculated, that is 200 amperes. So IA value is 200 square into RA, they mentioned 0.02 ohms. Together it will give you 800 watts. We calculated armature copper losses. And we need to calculate shunt copper losses also. This can be calculated by the formula V into ISH is one formula, or sometimes we can calculate by using ISH square into RSH also we can calculate. But here I am using V into ISH. This will be the terminal voltage of the potential difference at the load is 250 and the shunt field current earlier we calculated here 5 amperes. So 250 into 5 together it will give you 1250 watts. Now I would like to calculate what is the total copper losses. It is summation of armature copper losses and shunt field copper losses. So 1250 plus 800 it will give you 2050 watts. The next one, third bit, they are asking output of the prime mover. So in this one, stray losses that was mentioned in the problem, iron losses and they have mentioned here in the problem, iron losses and friction losses. Together it is called as stray losses. So stray losses they mentioned 950 watts in the problem. So total losses I am going to calculate. Total copper losses I just now calculate, that is 2050 plus this is stray losses. These encounter for total losses in the DC generator. Now we are going to calculate output first. That is voltage into the load current. Terminal voltage into load current. 250 volts into 195 amperes mentioned in the problem. So it accounts for 48,750 watts. Now I would like to calculate what is the input of the generator. Input equal to output plus total losses in the generator. So total losses in the generator is 3000 watts. Just now we can calculate it. Now the input equal to output is 48,750 plus 3000. Together it will give you 51,750 watts. The input to the generator is nothing but output of the prime mover, that it is 51,750 watts. The last bit, we would like to calculate what is the different efficiencies of the generator. First, I would like to mention here, till now we have calculated generator input, that is 51,750 watts, and stray losses they have mentioned 950 watts. Now I would like to calculate the mechanical efficiency first. So the formula for the mechanical efficiency is electrical power produced in the armature. So that we need to calculate. That can be obtained by deducting the stray losses from the total input. So we will get 50,800 watts from this one. So total, now I am substituting these values in the formula, that is 50,800 by 51,750 into 100. So in order to we get the percentage efficiency multiplied with 100, we got 98.2%. Now total copper losses known to you is 2050 watts. So electrical efficiency is given by load output, total output by output plus losses, copper losses. So 48,750 is the total output of the generator, and output plus losses. These losses, copper losses, we are, because we are calculating electrical efficiency. This will give you 95.9%. And finally, commercial efficiency. So commercial efficiency is nothing but total output of the DC generator by total input given to the DC generator. So total output from the DC generator is 48,750 divided by 51,750 is the input of the generator. So multiplied with 100 to get the percentage efficiency, that is 94.2%. So with this we have completed one problem. Next, I would like to see this second problem also. Let me read out this problem. A shunt generator has a full load current of 196 amperes at 220 volts. The stray losses are 720 watts and the shunt field coil resistance is 55 ohms. If it has a full load efficiency of 88%, find the armature resistance and also find the load current corresponding to maximum efficiency. This problem is somewhat different. First, we need to calculate the armature resistance from the given data, and then we need to calculate the load current corresponding to maximum efficiency. The derivation already we did in this video. Like, so output I am going to calculate, they have given the terminal voltage and as well as the load current. So output equal to 220 into 196, together it will give you 43,120 watts. And they mentioned in the problem efficiency, overall efficiency 88%. Now electrical input equal to output by efficiency. With the given data we are going to calculate the electrical input output by efficiency. So efficiency is 0.88 here. We are going to calculate this electrical input, that its value is 49,000 watts. Now total losses I am going to calculate. Input is known to you, output is known to you, so we can calculate what are the total losses. The total losses are total input minus total output. It will be 5,880 watts. Now the shunt field current I am going to calculate the terminal voltage divided by the shunt field resistance, which is already mentioned in the problem. So 220 by 55 will give you 4 amperes. Now I would like to calculate what is the armature current. The armature current is summation of load current plus the shunt field current. So 196 plus 4 will give you 200 amperes. Now we are going to calculate what are the shunt copper losses, what are the armature copper losses, and shunt copper losses are 220 into 4, which will give you 880 watts. And armature copper losses are, we are going to calculate armature copper losses. In the problem they mentioned stray losses are 720 watts. So would like to calculate the constant losses are nothing but shunt copper losses and stray losses together, they are called constant losses. So 880 plus 720 will give you 1600 watts. Now I would like to calculate the armature copper losses. Total losses are known to us, that is 5,880 minus this constant loss I am going to deduct from this one, right? We are getting armature copper losses are 4,280 watts. So, but what is the formula for armature copper losses? Ia square into Ra. So, Ia square into Ra is equal to 4,280 watts. No, by simplifying this equation, we will get the armature resistance, that is 0.107 ohms. So, the first bit asked in the question be solved, that is armature resistance, its value is this much. Now, the second bit what they asked is what is the condition load current corresponding to maximum efficiency. What is the condition for maximum efficiency? We are just derived in this presentation, that is Ia square Ra equal to constant losses, nothing but WC. Variable losses is equal to constant losses. So starting from that equation, Ia square Ra equal to constant losses, which is equal to 1600 watts. And armature resistance just now we have calculated, that is 0.107 ohms. By substituting these values in the equation, we'll get I equal to under root 1600 by 0.107. So by simplifying this one, we'll get the current corresponding to the maximum efficiency is 122.37 amperes. Right. Till now, we discussed about what are the different losses in the DC generator, classification of the losses and their importance, and then what are the different power stages in the DC generator we discussed, and finally we derived a condition for maximum efficiency, nothing but variable losses is equal to constant losses, and we also solved problems corresponding to these concepts in this one. In the next class, we'll start the new topic. Fine. Thank you.